Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation live here on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to absolutely everybody. I hope tomorrow brings you all you want. And guys, they did it. They didn't ruin Christmas. Rangers did not ruin Christmas. Thank the Lord, because I had this horrible feeling about today, with all the injuries we've got, with all the issues we've got in the team, that something was going to go wrong today and tomorrow would be ruined by Rangers. But no, we did it. We carried it off and we looked good doing it in the first half. We're going to obviously talk about that in this podcast, and I want to get your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on today's game, guys. Our last chance, obviously, before the Christmas break. Well, Christmas break. I know Rangers are in tomorrow training in a recovery session, but obviously lots to look forward to upcoming over the festive period for us Rangers fans. Callum C says, Merry Christmas, Callum. There's my comment. I am running late. I do apologise. Why am I running late? I'm not trying to emulate Derek Clark and Joshua Barry, just so you know. I've had the day from hell today, guys. Absolute shockingly bad day today. So just to sort of give you a little bit of a hint as to how bad my day has been today. I went to work this morning, went out in the van driving and managed to smash the van up and end up in a ditch. Nearly tipped the van over and in a waterlogged ditch. Work not very happy with me for obvious reasons. So today has not been a great day, guys. So if I'm not quite with it today, that's why. Because I crashed into a ditch this morning at 6:45 this morning. RM says, judging by the way you looked earlier, I agree. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. Hi. Says Sean Gordon says, what do you do for work when you're out at 6:30 a.m.? I'm a delivery driver, mate. That's what I do for work. Don't know how much longer for, though, buddy. Might not be very much longer at this rate. When Dessus had that fresh air shot, I thought, how the hell did Michael Beale think he was an upgrade on what we had, said Gordon. He said, sorry, missed out, fresh air shot, face purple, white eyes. That's it, absolutely. I know what you meant, Gordon, says RM. RM is spot on with this comment. The conditions were appalling today. Yes, they were absolutely shocking. David Hutchinson says, Owen, chill, mate. Oh, well, hope all's well, bro. If not, forget the night. You're never off. I'm fine, buddy. Scott's got me through today. This in the game. Milk and cookies are ready. They're waiting for the big man to slide down my chimney tonight. David, whatever you like to do in your own private time, if you want a big man to slide down your chimney, feel free, buddy. Feel free. Absolutely. Good evening, friends, says Juicy Bear Gaming. Good evening to you, Juicy Bear. David says, David, I could do with it, mate. Non-stop all day. Same here, buddy. Same here. Guys, it's been one of those days, hasn't it? One of those days. So, look, I suppose one positive of getting sent home from work early for crashing this morning was that I did actually get to watch the game, which was a positive. And Sean, yes, it was a good game, wasn't it? It was a very good game. And look, I thought that the first half was excellent. I thought the first half, Rangers were absolutely brilliant first half. You know, for me, watching that game first half, seeing the passing, the moving, the speed at which we moved the ball, the quality of the passing and moving was absolutely first class. And the goal was just, the Cantwell goal I'm talking about now was brilliant. You know, the interchange of passing, the little layoff by Seamer, the shot by Cantwell, just absolutely spot on. And that's what we want to see from Todd. More of that, please, Todd, over this festive period and going forward for the rest of the season. You know, it does seem to me that Todd has really settled into that 10 role even more now and is getting back to somewhere near where he used to be last season. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to obviously seeing him again on Wednesday night and then obviously watching again on the 30th for the big one. Obviously, the big one is upcoming on the 30th against that lot from across our city. Let's have a quick look. Before we get back to your comments in the live chat, let's have a little look at the league table as it looks tonight, guys. Let me bring the league table up for you. It looks quite nice. It's probably the best it's looked in quite a while. If you look at the table, let's have a look at that table. So here we go. It is, there we go. Look at that. 2 points behind them, game in hand. Win the game in hand, we go top of the league. Beat them on the 30th at the Piggery, we go top of the league. Look at the form as well. Rangers, look at that form. 5 wins out of 5. Celtic 2 losses out of their last 5. Doesn't that look good, guys? Doesn't that look absolutely spot on, that league table at this moment in time? Stephen says, Merry Christmas, Owen. What a result for Rangers, Stephen. It was a great result. And I think, you know, it's a great result as well because an awful lot of us were really worried about today, weren't we? We were all concerned about today. Why are we concerned about today? You know, look, there's two reasons why we were concerned about today. We shouldn't really be, because Motherwell haven't beaten us in the league since 2002. But the reason why we were concerned was twofold. Number one, our injury decimated strike force and our injury decimated central defensive pairing, central midfield pairing. That's the first reason. And second reason is it's Rangers, and that's what Rangers do, isn't it? Well, is it what they do anymore? You know what? Again today, even second half, where it wasn't as fluid a performance, there was still a dig in. There was still a fight there. There was still a battle there, wasn't there? And that was spot on. I thought they were really, really good at even, it seems that over the last 4 matches, the Dundee game, the Betis game, the Aberdeen game, and this game, there's been a real change in mentality, a change in attitude. And do you know what? It's kind of machine-like. We're turning into a machine. And one of the things the commentator said, which I thought was absolutely spot on, he said Rangers seem to be enjoying their work today. They're stood up tall, their shoulders are pulled back, and they're good to go today. And I thought that was spot on. First half, I thought we were spot on with the way we played, the way we fought. Absolutely. It's not Rangers really good. 3 points up the road in time for Santa, says Scott. Absolutely. As long as you're okay, and never mind the van. Thank you, RM. I don't think work see it that way. I'm okay with Sean. Thank you. I'd say, hey, you're all right, but I'm here guessing you're all good. I'm fine, David. I'm okay in myself, buddy. Don't you worry. Stephen Moorhead says Dessers was unlucky with the disallowed goals. Yeah, we're going to talk about those disallowed goals, Stephen. Don't you worry. We'll get to those. We had the wind assist in the first half. That's what I was going to remark upon, RM. You are spot on. RM, you should come on the podcast, buddy. You've got some great points. The wind in the first half was with us. I think that reflected the way we played. Second half, the wind was against us. And that wind was awful today. Did you see in the first half when Motherwell crossed the ball into the box, and it actually went into the box, but then it curved away from the box? And the co-commentator said, "Oh, I thought Leon Balogun headed the ball out, but actually, you know what? It wasn't Leon Balogun heading the ball out. It was actually the wind blowing it out. I mean, the wind was awful, and second half we couldn't play any of those long passes in behind for Seema, for McCausland. The passing was really hard that second half. There was times when the ball held up in the wind, even on the ground. It was awful weather. Yeah, Dessa's first half was very good. David said he was, and as I said on the reaction video earlier, if you want to know what Cyriel Dessers is, watch the game. Watch today's game. You'll see it's Cyriel Dessers in a nutshell, and we'll get to that shortly. RM says Dowell's goal was better. It was a very good goal and a great assist by Cyriel Dessers. RFC 72, evening, buddy. How are you? Good to meet you. Good to see you again today. Stuart says, what a difference when you don't have players on the park that hide. Stuart, I think that's a brilliant point, and I'm glad you brought that up because, like I was just saying, I think there's been a real sea change in mentality. These players, even the old guard, this was levelled at a lot, wasn't it? This go out and hide, go out and run from the opposition. Even that today was not there, and we've seen, I think, over the last few games, a real sea change, even from the likes of Tav and Goldson and, Borna, who hasn't played obviously the last couple of games. But we've seen a real sea change in their attitude, a real positivity. And look, there is one man who I give all that credit to. There is one guy who to me, deserves all the credit in the world for changing that attitude. And that is Philippe Clement. I think he has done a brilliant job in changing the mentality, changing the mindset, and getting them a lot more positive, getting them to be this team that we see now that is more effective, that looks better going forward, that just looks a more all-round football team. Look, yes, there are still a lot of weaknesses in this team. Yes, there are. For example, we do need a goal scorer. We do need some more central midfielders. We do need a winger. We do need a new centre-back. We do need to rebuild the defence in the long run. But he has turned round and changed the attitude 100% from the Michael Beale era. And I think we're seeing that a lot from not just from what we're seeing on the field, but also from what the players and the experienced players are saying. You've only got to listen to John Lundstrom, to have, to Goldson, and what they're saying. And it is very positive, very, very positive. But his second half was poor, missed it offside. Like I said, we are going to get to the whole Dessers thing. Goal difference has shrunk also. Yeah, they're only 2 goals ahead of us now. They're on plus 31. We're on plus 29. Scott Hammond said Dow did himself no harm at all. Hope he stays fit. I've got to say, Scott, I thought Kieran Dow was excellent today. Absolutely excellent today. I thought he played very well indeed. And I was really impressed with not only his passing and he's been available all the time, but the way he buys himself time, the way he buys himself space. I mean, there was an incident. It was in the second half, I think. And he's got 2 guys on him, and he goes over. 2 guys come towards a little Cruyff turn, moves away, moves into space, plays a nice little pass through. I thought he fought well for the ball as well, and he played. He played the majority of the game, even though he hasn't played first team football in a long time. He is looking a player. And Norwich City fans were more upset at him leaving than they were at Todd Cantwell leaving. So for me, he's looking very good indeed and very impressive, and it does bode well. I thought him and Sterling played very well in midfield today. Dujon Sterling is looking a monster. He's looking a machine. He's looking a dark destroyer. He's looking quality at this moment in time. William says, Sports Scene couldn't even get the table right. They had us on 42 points. That Michael Stewart just goes silent when we score. Michael Stewart is an utter knob. Dave Hutchison says, Stuart Hyde, big Phil, boot your port balls. One game at a time, we're going okay and making good fist of things. Keep our feet on the ground. That lot and the rest of Scottish football are about to implode if we keep going. Just keep going, Kyle. That is the way it looks. It's got to be that case of one game at a time. Each game on its merits. Each game working through. And as Chris Boyd said on the post-match today, he says Christmas is not a time for amazing performances. It's a time for getting results. And he says Rangers are doing that. Yes, the first half was very good. The second half, because of the conditions, not so good. Same against St Johnstone. Not a great performance, but again, 3 points on the board. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Scott, I agree. I don't know. I'm going to try and find out a bit of information after this podcast about Connor Goldson and what happened with Connor as well. Gordon says, do we think Ridvan is good enough to replace Borna? I'll be honest with you, Gordon, I don't think he is. I don't think he is at all. I think that we do need a new, possibly even 2 new left backs going forward. RM says, Motherwell haven't won in 15 games and Balogun had Biereth in his pocket and he was alone up front. Absolutely. I thought Balogun was absolute class today. And I was listening to the radio on the way back from work. I listened to BBC Radio Scotland. I've got my app for it. And they were talking about the possibility of Biereth, causing Balogun some trouble and getting in behind him because of Balogun's age. But I thought Balogun was brilliant today. Even that incident where it's the first half when Biereth gets away from him, Balogun turns on the afterburners, gets back up with him and puts in a brilliant tackle. I've got to say, he's 36 years old, but he is looking probably the best defender in our defence at the moment. Big Leon is looking an utter machine. Some managers could be sacked after Christmas. Chelsea, Manchester United, Aberdeen and Motherwell managers, sure, absolutely. Of course they could. If we're all together as a fan base with the team and the club, we are more than a machine. We are a juggernaut that can't be stopped. Kyle, absolutely, 100%. Ziggs the Wolf, haven't heard from you in a while, buddy. Todd Cantwell getting a goal. Love seeing Todd score, and what a goal it was as well. Great play from Todd. Guys, 47 people watching at the moment. I understand it's Christmas Eve. Obviously, we've not got the audience we usually have. And I couldn't get any guests on tonight. No one wanted to work Christmas Eve. Wonder why. So please smash that like, guys. And if you have obviously not done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. Keep on growing. David said he spoke to a couple of Bruges fans online yesterday. Did you? What, David, what website was that on? I'm watching you, David. They were absolutely raving about Clement. We've won a watch with this appointment, people. Absolutely. He was brilliant at Bruges. He was brilliant at Genk. First class. Big Balogun was brilliant. Man of the match. Easily, says Robert. Today, yeah, he was brilliant today. He was my man of the match. He was definitely my man of the match. So we are running currently, if you haven't voted yet, we are running a man of the match poll on the channel, on the community tab on the channel. If you haven't voted yet, please head over there and vote. Guys, I hate doing this because whoever I pick is always wrong. So the odds, the nominations on the channel are Cantwell, Goldson, who I thought played well today, Big Balogun, and Kieran Dow. So far, let's actually say how many votes we've had. 226 votes. Cantwell on 34%, Goldson on 3%, Big Balogun on 23%, and currently leading the way on 40% is Kieran Dowell. So if you have not done so yet, have a little vote, guys. Go and vote on the community tab. Let us know who you thought was man of the match. They don't have an answer. That's why they kick us to death now. I've got to say, RM, I was disgusted at some of the tackles today. There was the one where the guy stamped. Well, it was allegedly an accident down the Achilles of Seema. I thought Seema got a lot of abuse, and I think today from being kicked all over the place. And I think Big Phil did right in bringing off Abdallah today. It's a big improvement. It is, Stuart, a massive improvement. Magic Phil. Ziggs the Wolf, he's got his magic stick out. I'm sure that Mrs. Clement is very happy that Philippe has his magic stick. David just says, Philippe Clement, what a manager, for fuck's sake. Absolutely. You know, one thing that impresses me, David, and everyone out there, you look across to the touchline and you watch him, and the passion he is there. He's always talking to the players. He's always giving instruction. He knows exactly what he wants, and he puts that across and he communicates it so clearly. And I'll be honest with you, one of the things that really impresses me is the fact that he is playing players out of position. Of course he is. But one thing over what Michael Beale used to do is he is making sure that when those players go out on the field, they have such precise instructions. They know where they need to be, how they need to play that position, what they need to do. And he just prepares them 100% for that challenge. Absolutely spot on. Gordon Turnbull says, agree, Balogun was my man of the match. I think a centre midfielder, we have more than enough. Remember, Hadji and Lowry are still on the books. I think possibly a loan, RM maybe, a loan going forward until the end of the season, because we can't get Hadji back until the end of the season unless his loan is cancelled. Lowry's more of an attacking midfielder than a defensive midfield player. When Clement leaves, the club trophy count was very high. This man is a born winner. I certainly hope so. Dow looks like a real 10, says RM. Dow's looking really, really good. Don't think Dessers was offside the second time. Interesting point, Robert. We'll talk about that. What a win for the Rangers. Have a great Christmas, Bears. James Simpson, I hope you have a good Christmas, and I hope your dog does too. Dowell is an elegant player. His left peg is glorious, William says. Yeah, absolutely spot on. I've got to say, Kieran Dowell, just different class. Absolute different class in terms of his passing of the ball, his use of the ball. He is looking a very good player. I mean, obviously the big concern going forward is, can he stay fit? That is the big one. We must keep him fit. I think if he does, then him and Sterling can shine until the winter break. And that's going to be the options, you know, with Jack out, with Raskin out, with Cifuentes out, with Lundstrom out until after January, until early January, until the after the Kilmarnock game. It is a case of us needing a fit Dowell. A fit Dowell and given a chance to be an important player for us. Absolutely. Callum says, feel like Dessers looked onside with the second. It was the VAR angle. David P says, RM there cams, though, buddy. In my opinion, we're actually pretty sure for Clement's double pivot midfield. Always rated Dowell as a player, said Ziggs the Wolf. Stuart says, have confidence for the old firm. Didn't say that once when Beale was in charge. Stuart, you're right, because Philippe will have these guys prepared for this game, and that's a key thing for me. Absolutely key thing. He'll have them fully prepared. There will be no surprises. He will know exactly what Celtic are going to do. He will know how to counteract that. He will have the team set up to counteract that. Absolutely spot on, Stuart, with that point. I don't think PC would want Hadji back. Would we swap Lowry for Shankland? He has said that he does want to run his eye over Hadji, actually, so that's a possible. Would I swap Lowry for Shankland? No, I wouldn't, because Lowry's a young, promising player. Shankland's 28. But I don't want to particularly talk about Shankland tonight. That's one of RM's favourite topics. RM says the last game before the break and the first two games after the break are crucial. 100% agree. Obviously, Celtic and Kilmarnock, or Ross County, Celtic, Kilmarnock, upcoming 3 wins in that, and we will be top of the league. You know, I actually think Killy will be probably one of the toughest games we face, even though it's at Ibrox. They are banging form at the moment, and Derek McInnes is going to have them bang up for that game. So it'll be a tough game. It will be a tough game, especially with all the injuries. Apparently, Goldson had been carrying a groin problem for a while, says David. That's a bit of a shame. And like I said, let's hope that's not serious. They're all crucial, absolutely. Every game is crucial. When you are Rangers, you know, absolutely. Campbell was good today, but still want more from him, to be honest. Absolutely. I think he's glowing back into that role of playing as the 10. He hasn't played in the 10 role for the whole season. I think now that Philippe Clement is giving him his confidence, and it was a lovely moment when he actually came off to see how Clement reacted to him. Absolutely spot on. When we get our midfielders back, where does that leave Sterling and Dowell? it's Charles. I think one positive is it leaves us with a lot of competition for places. And I'll tell you this: competition for places breeds and pushes up standards. You know, there is a saying. One of the NFL team I cover, the coach of the NFL team I cover says, 2 dogs, 1 bone. Okay, iron sharpens iron. And I think that is very, very true. It will be a case of when we have Raskin back, Lundstrom back, Cifuentes back, Jack back, Sterling can play there, Dow can play there, Lawrence can play there. 7 options, guys. 7 guys fighting for 2 shirts. It's going to raise standards, and that's exactly what we want. Thank you very much, Acoustic Gymnastics. William says, Dessa should have been in the poll. The only problem is, William, I can only put 4 names in the poll. And whatever I do with the man of the match poll, it always upsets somebody. Dowell, for me, keep that boy fit and he could be a quality player for us, says Bluebells are blue. Absolutely, Bluebells are blue. I agree with you 100% on that. He looks a good player, doesn't he? He looks a really, really good player. A real quality players. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Too many injuries, must be hammer throwers. Absolutely, hammer throwers are awful in this league, aren't they, for hurting us? Here we go. On another YouTuber's watch along for West Ham versus United. Totally random man. Mentioned I'm an Rangers fan, 2 Bruges fans on there. They were Bruges fans, by the way, 100%. Excellent. Cool. There we go. I was just trying to be funny, David. The only reservation I had about Clement was, could he get to grips with Scottish football? And he's answered that question. He 100% has RRM, hasn't he? He's proper answered that question. Callum says 17 games unbeaten, 16 under Clement. Correct. Spot on. Motherwell boss saying they should have had a penalty. Well, Vars didn't say they should have a penalty, so they can screw up. I mean, if he means the Ridvan one, Ridvan doesn't make any attempt to tackle. Ridvan is just, it runs hands up. The guy actually runs across Ridvan, sticks his leg out. So it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. RM, only hope he's here for years to come, but the Premiership will be clap-chapping on the door soon. They will be. Yeah, I think the EPL will be banging it on the door. That's the only issue. Obviously, we can't compete with the EPL in terms of money. That is a big issue for the club at the moment. Norwich supporters all said Dowell was better than Cantwell. As I said, yeah, RM 100%. Need Scott McKenna, Dan Armstrong, and Hearts captain, says Kenneth Elliott. Interesting shout, Kenneth. Not a big fan of Scott McKenna, if I'm being honest. Not a big fan of Scott McKenna. How does Heart and Hand report that Dessers and Dowell were told to find new clubs? Look now. Agreed. But then again, part of it may have been that they were told to do that, but now they've kind of turned it around. They took that as a bit of an incentive to raise their game, maybe, Bluebells. I don't know. Callum had a bunch of stats that I posted in the Rabbles chat earlier, but I can't remember them. Nevertheless, they were very impressive. We are flying now. Confidence does wonders, 100%. In the league pre-Clement, 8 games, 5 wins, 3 defeats. Under Clement, 10 games, 9 wins, 1 draw. Absolutely spot on, that is. It's in the squad and the fans now, no anxious fans. Absolutely. For once, I'm going into games with a new confidence, guys, with a new confidence. And it is the form of champions, David. You're 100% correct. It is the form of champions. Rosie, hey. Kilmarnock cannot be underestimated. A game at a time. Hope everyone has a brilliant Christmas. Rosie, hope you have a good Christmas too. Yeah, good. No questions about Liz tonight, Rosie. I want to see us in the Champions League with a Clement side. Absolutely, Callum. You know what? Sorry, I'm having a quick beer, guys. Clement took, I think it was Bruges. It might have been Genk. I don't know, to the Santiago Bernabeu and got a draw. He also took them to Milan, to the San Siro, and won that game. Now, I'm not saying that this Rangers squad is good enough to do that at the moment, but you never know. Give it this January window. Give it the summer. Clement could well amass a team that is capable of at least getting us. I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League. I'm not saying that for a minute. And I'm not saying we're going to get the final or semis. But what I am saying is he could actually raise us a team that are capable of competing in a group stage, qualifying from a group stage, and then going through at least 1 knockout round or 2 knockout rounds in the Champions League. That's what I'm saying. Because he knows how to set a team up in Europe. He's proved that with Genk and Bruges. So, yeah, 100%. Dowell and Sterling bossed it. Dowell has got good feet, says Callum. Yeah, I mean, if you look at that team today, guys, let's have a quick look at the team today, shall we? And let's just cover, I'll get back to you. I will get back to your comments in a minute, guys. It is very difficult when you're on your own to keep on top of the comments. I've got some news about the channel as well regarding that. So here was the team today, guys. And if we run through the team today, you look at that team. Obviously, Butland in goal was excellent. Tav didn't have a great game. He did a good job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging him off just before anyone kills me. But yeah, I thought Tav didn't have the best of games today. And There was that error as well when he failed to control. Was the time he lost his man. I thought Goldson and Balogun were excellent in central defence today, and like we all say, I hope that Goldson's injury isn't serious. I wouldn't play him against Ross County. I'd play John Suter, give him a rest, and so he's ready for the Old Firm game on the 30th. I thought Ridvan was okay, not great. Gave the ball away a little bit too much. His crossing was a bit off. I think we will see Borna back in the team for the 30th. Sterling and Dowell were excellent, absolutely excellent today. Brilliant, just so good. Ran the show, absolutely ran the show. Dujon Sterling is looking one hell of a player. He is looking one hell of a player. And, you know, do we praise Michael Beale for that, or do we praise John Park for that? You know, who do we praise for that? Campbell played well today, I thought. McCausland did okay, but I think McCausland may need a rest. But the only concern is I thought Rabbi Matondo looked so rusty again today. His touches were off for me. He just couldn't seem to go past anyone. He really is lacking again, and we really hope that his confidence can turn around. I thought Abda put in a hell of a shift today. One hell of a shift that Abda did today. I thought Abda was excellent again. Right, Cyriel Dessers. Let's talk Cyriel Dessers, shall we? David, before we do, let's just have a quick flick through the comments. So happy for Cantwell, get in there, says David Hutchison. Me too. I thought he was class, and he was really funny after the game as well, wasn't he? Trying to get his coat up and zipped up in all that wind when they were getting blown away. He was talking about the Biereth one. Malky mate, okay. Can't watch David Edgar, to be honest, William. Interesting. I know you were trying to be funny, but I feel like I'm not sharing. Thought it was funny myself. Two random Bruges fans out of nowhere. Absolutely. Best signing of the season. Big Super Jack Butland. Super Jack Butland in goal. He is. Stuart Kettlewell is a prick, Malky. Hey, Malky, how you doing, buddy? RM says, find it strange that Dowell and Dessers find new clubs, but nothing on Lammers. It does seem that Philippe Clement has a bit of an obsession. You're funny, Rosie. Very funny. She's in Scotland with her family. That's where she is. That's where she is, buddy. That's very funny. Very funny. I'm just taking a picture of that sent to her. David P. Owen saying we're winning the Champions League, getting shared, people. Yeah, breaking news, David. On the 24th of December 2023, Owen Pybus of Glasgow Rangers Nation said Rangers will win the Champions League. Yeah, whatever. There's no one team that didn't get in the pass marks. Agree. Absolutely. What else have we got in the comments? Owen Sam with the Champions League. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, David. No. Matondo back to the Geo days. He is absolutely. Just imagine if there's a waterlogged pitch in midweek, Owen. Yeah, John, that's not great, is it? My charger, my computer's dying. But yeah, it wouldn't be great, would it, if we had to have that game abandoned or wasn't played. It is a bit of a joke, isn't it? How we've got a waterlogged pitches in this day and age. It really is a joke. Now, okay, here we go. This is the comment to launch this next section. Stuart says Dessers is an enigma. Like I said, guys, if you want to know what Cyriel Dessers is like, if someone from outer space came and said to you, I don't know why they'd say this, but if they did and said, tell me about Cyriel Dessers, I would say go watch the Motherwell game. Just go watch the Motherwell game, because you'll see Cyriel Dessers in a nutshell. You'll see everything about Cyriel Dessers for me since Clement's come in and given him that newfound confidence that he seems to be playing with. So first half, I thought he played very well. He linked play well. He ran in behind. He put pressure on the defence. He high pressed well, which is one of the things I think he was bought for, because that's something he did at Feyenoord. You know, he did that exceptionally well. He had the assist for the Dowell goal, and I thought he did really well first half. Then second, and there was a couple of incidents though in the first half that then showed you the other side of Cyriel Dessers. There was the ball where the ball came in. Can't remember who crossed it in, and he jumps in the air and flicks it with his right boot and completely misses it. Whereas if he got at it with his left or he'd done a diving header, he probably would have gone on target. And then there's the other one where he takes a complete fly hack and completely misses the ball, looking like a toddler trying to kick a football. And then that's Cyriel Dessers as well. He still has those moments. And for me, that kind of shows why he is not the answer as our number 9. I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm not saying he's shite. I'm not saying any of those things. But what I am saying is, I think in those two moments, you kind of see why you can't rely on him, why he's got that slightly dodgy side to him. Second half, the 2 goals that were disallowed show Dessers perfectly perfectly. Two great finishes, don't get me wrong. And the second one in particular, when he goes in, goes around Liam Kelly and scores, absolutely spot on. But offside both times. Again, he is Mr. Offside. He's like a combination of Ted Lasso and Fashion Sakala. Less of an understanding of an offside rule. This is the beer top cap. This is the player. You've got to be level Cyriel, or just behind them when the ball is played. You can't be in front of the cap. Okay, there you go. Send that to Cyriel Dessers, explain the offside rule. But yeah, he is an utter enigma. I thought he took his chances really well, and I felt sorry for him. I thought the second goal was a hell of a lot closer than the first goal. I thought the first goal was just really poor timing on the run. He could have held that up a little bit. He had the beating of the Motherwell defence. The second goal, I think, was a lot closer. I think if there's no VAR, that goal stands. I really do. I think it does, because of the fact that, look, the refs have been told to give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side, and if that was a normal game where there was no VAR, I think that goal would have stood. I really do, because it was very touch and go. But you know what? It does go to show that we don't get all the VAR decisions, and it's not a Masonic conspiracy, because if it was, that goal would have stood, wouldn't it? So that lot from across the city to you. David P says all the media outlets were real quick to rubbish it, so it means loads of shite. That's obviously the rumor about the whole new club for Messers. David P says, if we win it, I think he means the Champions League. I'll come on and give you a big kiss, mate. David, look forward to it, buddy. Look forward to it. But like I said, if I was that way inclined, David, I'd marry Jack Butland. This club needs several seasons of being in the Champions League before they can compete in it, says Juicy Bear Gaming. True, but I do think, Juicy Bear, that Philippe Clement would have us in a position where we could actually compete at the highest level with them. He'd be more organised anyway. This is his third rate, I'm sorry to say, said Gordon. Like I said, Gordon, I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's the answer long term. I do think we need a striker. And there's a number of names being linked, and I don't want to talk about them all tonight, but that is certainly something that I do think we do need to look at is a striker, one permanent, one loan in January. Yes, I think Dessers is a good option off the bench. I certainly think that. Yes, I do think he can do a job for us off the bench, but he's not a starter for me. Not a starter. Ewan says, hi, Owen. I says, Dessers' second goal was onside. He was level with the last defender. I'm sure the rule states it's onside, but ho. We still won by 2 goals, Ewan. Yeah, it is. If you're level, it is onside. I think the angle they drew the lines at and the angle they showed on that VAR thing was kind of showing he was off. But I think if you come in square with it and on the line, he would be level. And like I said, Ewan, I think no VAR, that stands. David, that press by Dow for the first goal was sex on a plate. Shout out to Ian from the Rabble. Absolutely, David, 100%. Lucy Bear need to win the league for several reasons then. David, who's Lucy Bear, by the way? 25 million took from Europe so far. How much do we spend in January, Callum? It depends. I mean, obviously, the club ran at a loss. I think we do need to move players on. I don't think you spend a lot in January, just because January is an awful time to buy players. It really is. It's a seller's market, January. It really is a seller's market. It's a time when teams overcharge for players in January. So that, for me, would say no. If they released the pass when Dessers asked for it instead of taking a touch, he won't be offside. And that's the difference when you play on the last man. Yilmaz delayed the pass. I suppose Yilmaz, like I said, Yilmaz has got a lot to prove still. Prime Time says Dessers isn't good enough. He's showing better the fitter he gets, but he's still not what we need. This is what I said, Prime Time. I don't think he is the answer long term. I don't think he is a starting option. I think he's good off the bench. I do think we need to go and get another striker. Robert also saying that he thinks it was offside. It's great, isn't it? Dessers is another player now that is starting to, like a number of players, massively divide the fan base. Absolutely, that's fine, mate. As long as you keep your eyes off Cantwell, says David. David obviously wants to marry Cantwell. Need another Danilo type fast striker, says Callum C. Absolutely, we do need another fast, quick striker up front. 100% agree on that one. Look, it was a good performance today. It was a good performance today. Some nice football played in that first half. Some nice passing movement. And guys, I don't know about you, but I am starting to see more of a style, more of a quicker passing, quicker vision, quicker movement of the ball, and all, like I said, all the praise in the world goes to this man here, Philippe Clement. I think he's just been absolutely excellent, absolutely superb. I mean, he's not only putting in a style that works, he's not only getting a tune out of these players, but he is also, for me, installing a new mentality, installing a new physicality, installing something into this team that is getting it back to the days of Sir Walter and the days of Graham Souness and the days of Dick Advocat and the days of Big Eck, when we were a winning machine and teams did not mess with us. That's fine, mate, as long as you keep your eyes. I had that comment, sorry. 3 loans in January will do me. Clement has been brought in to work with players he's got and make them better. He's never been a big fan of signing loads of players. He works with what he's got, says William N01. Yeah, and he's always a manager as well who has constantly refreshed his team. Even at the end of seasons when he's won leagues, he's then gone away and changed, sold a couple of players and brought a couple of new players in. You know, he really does leave it so players never allowed to rest on their laurels and never allowed to just think that they've made it and that's it. And that is exactly what we need at Rangers. I think personally that we've had far too many players that think that they've made it by coming here, and because they've won 55, I've just thought that's it, we've done it now, and kind of given up a little bit. But Philippe will not tolerate that. He will not tolerate that. Blue Nose, John for Frankfurt Loyal, my channel member, says 2 strikers in January, preferably one who is prolific. Yep, and not Fabio Silva. John, that's because Clement has a system and monitors and changes it as required during a game. He's got excellent game management. That's another thing that has really developed, I think. He makes changes at the right time. He's shown that he's not afraid to make changes. He's shown that that he is not afraid to hook players in the first half even. You know, he isn't scared. So, yeah, 100%. Stuart Anderson says, I'd say we need a starting striker and a good backup. Agree 100% with you on that one, Stuart. But like I said, today was a real boost for me. Like I said, I had a shit morning. Absolutely awful morning. But Rangers boosted you back up, and they didn't ruin Christmas, did they? They saved Christmas. Rangers save Christmas. Now, that is the actual title of the gut reaction video that went out. I did put a gut reaction video out virtually straight away after the game, guys. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. It's on YouTube now. Obviously, wait till the podcast is finished, then go check it out. Please don't leave me. But yeah, you know, it is a case of the fact they did save Christmas, and all credit to them. All credit to them today. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a new confidence. And I might be extremely foolish in saying this. I might be tempting fate. And I agree with what a lot of you have said. It is one game at a time. It is a case of needing to play one game at a time, taking each team on its merits, building each team. And I think we've finally got a manager who does that. Philippe Clement is very much of the ethos, like he said, that making sure his players are fully prepared for every single game. Making sure his players are ready to go in every single game, and when they come into a game against an opponent, there is no surprises. There is no nothing that takes them nothing that they're not ready for. He really done very, very well for me, and that for me is why he has, I think, had the success. And that's why I've got confidence that even going one game at a time, we can still do it. We can still, you know, win those games and become that juggernaut that we all want us to be. And we're starting to be. Who does prolific play for? Lol, Gordon. Blue Nose John says the coaching that he does from the touchline is tremendously helpful to the players. Yeah, absolutely. He's constantly doing that, giving instructions, telling players where to go. And like we saw in that game, you know, even when we were, was it the one that was against Ibrox? I can't remember who was against now, but Dessers had come on as a sub, and it was like the 93rd minute, and we were 2-0 up. We were winning the game easily. Yet he's still absolutely ripping Dessers a new one for not chasing every single ball. He doesn't allow any slacking off, and that is exactly what we need as a manager. Carlo Verakamen says changing players in Belgium means others have been sold or out with injury. Otherwise, you work with what you have. Says Carlo, absolutely. Prolific is Croatian. Did you make the reaction waiting on the tow truck going? No, I was at home, buddy. I was at home. Next man up, absolutely. That's the way it's got to be. And this squad really seemed to have taken on board that next man up mentality. They really have. And Philippe Clement's got them ready for that. And they're all, like Philippe says, he's got a team here now that want to play for each other, that want to fight for each other. That's the video, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, Rangers Save Christmas. Go and check it out. Absolutely spot on, buddy. What else have we got here? I can live with Dessers for a while till we can move him on, but he has some moments. But Lammers is an absolute priority to move off. It's a complete waste of a big wage. It's basically a man down. I agree. He did nothing again today, prime time, when he came on. Absolutely agree with you about Lammers. He's had a bad head day in the wind. And he straightened it today again. Ewan, thank you so much. That is so generous of you, buddy. Happy Christmas. Just want to wish you and your family have a Merry Christmas. Say thanks for giving up your free time to bring the Bears. Such a great pod, mate. Ewan, not a problem. Ewan, there's nothing I'd rather be doing. Well, no, there isn't. There's nothing I'd rather be doing than making Rangers content, talking to you guys about Rangers. Absolutely spot on. Thank you very much, Ewan. That is so kind of you. Thank you for that thing. Hit the like button. I need your support. Merry Christmas to one and all. Going for another lead to David. Sound. Facebook user, I think probably Jerry, says that was a good result in a first half performance that could have caused us issues. If we had been in front, we could hardly get the ball up the park second half because of the wind, Jerry, because of the wind. But yeah, he's right. That quick start was exactly what we need. And going forward against Ross County, if the game goes ahead on Wednesday, and against Killy, and to some extent against Celtic on the 30th, good, quick opening goals. And that's what made all the difference today. That early goal, getting the ball, scoring the goal, and getting that early goal from Dowell settled us down and had us playing some quality football. And if we can do that in future against Ross County, against that lot from across the city, against Killy on the second, then it stands us in really good stead going forward as a team. Guys, I was really chuffed with the result today. It was chuffed with the performance. We did well today. We've got the points. Like we say, 3 points up the road. Let's go for it. And I think Rangers really did save our Christmases. They really did. Well, guys, that's it for Christmas Eve. I need to go and wrap my girls' Christmas presents. Several £100 worth of Christmas presents. Jesus. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. I really do. And I'll be back on Boxing Day to speak to you. But I want to thank every single one of you for your amazing support that you've given me over the time the channel's been up and running. We started this channel on the 23rd of February this year. The response to it has been amazing. Over 4,000 subscribers. So many of you join in the live streams, in the chats and the podcasts. You watch the videos, you comment on the videos. And like I always say, is you take time to write the comment. I will always try and reply to you. Thank you, guys. You have no idea how much this means to me. As a Rangers fan, as a person, as a person that's had a few issues in the past with mental health, this is amazing for me. And I want to thank you all. You really are like a family to me, a Rangers family, guys. We are one family. We are a red, white and blue family. We are the Rangers family. Thank you so much for everything, guys. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I want to have a great day with your families tomorrow. We'll be back on Boxing Day to speak to you. Guys, it's been phenomenal so far this year. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the channel growing and let's keep on talking all things Rangers. A couple of last comments to bring up that you guys are posting. Robert Binney, moving the ball quicker will always pay dividends. Robert, you're spot on because at the end of the day, it doesn't allow teams to get that low block set in quicker. You can move them around a little bit more. Absolutely. William, absolutely. Teddy Beard says, ha, ha, ha. But hopefully a Cockney used car salesman. We're looking for the for the players. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Robert. Prime time. Merry Christmas to you and your family and all the Bears. Listen, prime time. Thank you very much. Stuart Henderson. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Stuart. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Teddy Beard. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I'm going to try and get your comment up. My Teddy Beard, it's just play, but I will bring that comment up in a minute. Hopefully it'll come up now. There we go. Stuart. Xmas, happy Xmas, everyone. Stuart, 100%. RM, thank you so much for that. And RM, thank you for all your comments are fabulous. Love reading your comments, guys. Have a read of RM's comments. Always good points that he makes on the videos. So have a look at those. Merry Christmas, Owen. Have a beer on me, and thanks for the content. RM, thank you so much for that. Very, very generous of you. Thank you very, very much indeed. I'm off to church soon. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, John. Merry Christmas, all. RM, Merry Christmas, buddy. Big up, Owen. I feel you with mental health thing. Thank you, David, for that. It means a lot. Guys, Merry Christmas to absolutely everybody out there. Just want a quick couple of personal messages. I know it's very unprofessional just to finish the podcast off. Merry Christmas to my girls, to my Rebecca and my Laura. My girls are my world. I love them to bits. They're absolutely everything to me. The only thing that's more important in my life than Rangers are my daughters and Liz. But guys, thank you so much for everything. And girls, I love you loads. Happy Christmas. Hope you get all the gifts you want. I'll see you in the morning for a little bit before you go off with your mum, with my ex-wife to her sisters for the day. Love you loads. Also to Liz and her family up in Scotland. Happy Christmas. Hope you have a great one. Hope the kids are great. Love you to bits. Hopefully see you soon. Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Right. Okay, guys, that is the podcast. That is everything. Again, thank you so much. And on the way out, as always, guys, if you can do 2 jobs for me. Number 1, smash the like. It helps the video. Number 2, always remember, never forget, we are the people.